Hello, myself Sunil Nair, and here basically we are discussing about one topic that is the topic is basically the attraction, and in attraction basically we are talking about one topic. This person's generation can go next or it can't go next. In this basically we discuss lots of things basically, and one World Bank basically had one person. He was Indian person. He was good in mathematics and good in statistics and good in banking and side. And banking management means you can just understand each and everything basically was just we discussed in the last few videos. That all comes into the banking management. So basically then basically he reached to that just now basically we connected with the Bollywood group basically, the banking person basically. So these all are stories basically. So the banking stories basically connected to like this, that these are all the Bollywood person, they are basically very old. They basically death energy basically connected to them, they died. But they are very powerful people, and they are basically well known people, and basically people can die for that Bollywood people also. So basically if this news will get leaked, then basically things will create problem. So they basically got burn birth basically, that basically we have taken that one Sholay movie energy basically entered into that person, and like this basically they done the experiment, and the universe also basically accepted that experiment. Like this basically the things connected, and then one more thing basically got into picture, that there are to create one Bollywood energy basically it's very difficult, very difficult. So he told that basically, and we want to test a 3 lakh task basically also. So how basically we can do that? Then one of the doctor basically, or the Bollywood person basically given, he got one idea basically, might have got some idea when he basically eaten that food basically. So from that food basically got an idea, because without any blood cell generation basically you can't get any idea basically. That might be the rules of the uh, idea department. So like this basically the old the he want basically the Bollywood blood cells, so it should be chained basically, because he want each and every 3 lakh blood cells to be created. So basically he selected 200 to 300 Bollywood people basically, that were basically old people like Devanand, Vinod Mehra, this like this basically. I'm not telling that Devanand is like this. So basically he basically selected a few Bollywood people basically. He told that basically it's very difficult to keep them alive basically in front of the world basically, because if we alive keep alive in that people basically in front of the world, then basically the world might ask question basically, how basically he is still alive basically. We have basically sent the death data basically. Then how, then basically it will create political issue, then it will create world war. Like this basically lots of war will start. So like this basically they told that basically no, basically we will do one thing like this, we will finish that body structure, finish that war face basically, and then basically we will give him some different face, but he will basically remember each and everything basically. So basically they told that basically okay, that's fine. By the, like this basically they discussed, and then basically they allocated each and every 300 people a Sholay movie energy. Then basically one of the people basically got some holiday movie energy. Holiday movie energy means holiday movie has created few energies, and then basically that movie energy converted into the holiday birth cell, holiday birth clone basically, holiday human clone basically. This word basically we can give holiday human clone, Sholay human clone. Then the old picture like Raja Harishchandra human clone. Then basically we can have some movie like just a minute. The old movies like Manzil, Kati Patang, मेरे अपने, खुशी, सौदागर, देन त्रिशूल, डॉन, स्पर्श, कर्ज, शान, याराना, सत्ते पे सत्ता, अगर, शक्ति, सदमा, अंकुश, नाम, कामसूत्र, काला पत्थर, सफेद पत्थर, अंकुर, अंकुश, गुड्डी, राम श्याम, बरसात, धन, मंजिल, वक्त, आराधना. Like this, basically, these all are the movies, basically, right? These all are the basically movies. These all are the movies, basically. We can allocate this all movies energy, and the energy basically is already converted to the movies need and human souls, basically. And what that movie is going to generate, that basically we know that because writer has told that basically I have written like this. Writer told that basically I have written like this. So just say the important role of the writer, basically the dangerous role of the director also, and the dangerous role basically the producer is playing in the Bollywood industry, basically, because they are creating actually birth, basically they are creating human, basically. So I assume that from Sholay movie, basically 100 human souls basically has created, and like 100, so from 100 souls basically some set of souls basically converted into old, uh, set it dumped into the old heroines, basically, and they basically got new face. Like this basically we saw like this the how Bollywood industry is growing, how the things are basically growing like this, basically each and everything, basically. So for in this basically the banking investment basically how play their roles, but banking people basically might be knowing or might not be knowing, that is the basically question. Mostly they might not be knowing because it's a secret of the Bollywood industry, but the energy group might be knowing, right? Energy group might be knowing 100%, but the Bollywood banking industry mostly might not be knowing. Mostly, basically, few people basically banking industry basically might be knowing because they are also might be in from the Bollywood industry. They are also placed from the Bollywood industry group only, because Bollywood industry basically has to keep their secret. For that, basically, only Bollywood people basically can do that. For that, basically, one of the member of the World Bank might be from Bollywood, because Bollywood is basically big industry. Like it's giving the turnover of 50,000 crore, doing the rotation of 5 to 6 lakh crore in the banking industry. So they can place their people basically very easily, basically in the World Bank, basically. So they mostly might be having. So they only basically might be handling this, or Bollywood people basically means old people converted into new, and they got some new look face, and then basically they are basically then basically how their body structure, then basically that's a medicine, basically medical industry is so powerful that basically their body, each and every body parts will become like a young, basically. So that's basically the medical science, basically medical science has reached up to certain level, basically. So like this basically you can, the medical industry basically can do this. So they have done this also, basically they had done. So like this because the requirement is like this, basically the requirement is like this because each and everything basically they have to test, and then only basically they can dump into the environment, basically. Because Bollywood group says that Bollywood group basically are communicating with the set of universe group, set of satellite groups. So basically their energy also should be like that, basically, because this Bollywood energy is also basically uh, going to basically help whenever our planet is going to move that side. So that is basically the time, basically we can say. Lots of people says that this particular industry basically have the got the time, basically this is the time period. The IT industry basically says that basically we have also got the time, this is the time period. So whenever the earth planet is going to move that side, then basically the earth planet is going to move that side, then basically the IT industry energy is going to be taken use from the satellite groups, and from satellite group basically 100% have the data. They are, might be doing the testing, they might be doing the analysis. For that basically the lots of the IT professionals basically require there. But they will basically mostly might not be doing the task from there basically, because in satellite basically it's very difficult to do the task also basically. So they might have got some different space. So like this lots of things are basically there. So like this basically the this was about some little bit about Bollywood industry basically. So banking in person basically, that was World Bank person basically, he told that basically this is also one of the tasks basically, but that report basically which the doctor basically has given, that is not connecting to this also, that is basically not connecting to this also basically. Then basically where basically he might search basically, where basically he might search basically. Then he told that basically there are basically the political groups are also basically there. Can we search in the political group? Then basically he told that basically, do you have any political writer basically available? Then he told, yeah, basically we have many political writer basically. We have many political writer basically. Few political writer basically plays their, they have their own role also basically. They basically plays their own role also basically. They writes and they plays their own role also basically. Like this, there are many people basically who are basically political writer. Like this Bollywood writer is there. Like this political writer also there. Like this Bollywood writer, the political writer are also there basically. Then you told that basically that same thing basically which Bollywood basically people done, like Sholay human souls basically has dumped into the old Bollywood people, and then basically they got some new face. Like this basically you want to say that the in political people also they have done like that basically. Then basically, yes, basically it might be possible. That means you want to say that the Mahatma Gandhi still exists, Nathuram Godse still exists, Subhash Chandra Bose, these people also still, their body also still exist. You want to say that Nehru also still exists. You want to say like that basically. Then you told that Veer Savarkar also still exists. That means you want to say that Sarojini Naidu also still exists. So you want to say that Chandrasekhar Azad also still exists. Bhagat Singh also still exists. You want to say that Sukhdev also still exists. You want to say that. Then basically, that basically only political writer basically and say that. But political writer basically, that means you want to say that political writer is also one of the old person basically. That means you want to say that this political writer is also one of the old person. Then basically he told that basically it might possible, yeah. Might possible, because to write the political each and every incidents basically, that's very difficult basically. He told that basically whenever the new rules comes into the picture in front of the public, that is tested 100 times in front of the public only basically, in front of the public only, and that also in different way basically they test. Then only basically the section basically implements in front of the public basically. They are tested 100 times, then only basically it implements in front of the public, in front of the public basically. So it might possible that political people also might be created their creation like that only. It might possible basically, but 100% I can't say that. It's not possible basically to tell that these all people will basically exist only basically. Still exist basically. So basically, it's very difficult to tell that basically. it's very difficult to say that basically still basically the people exist. So then basically he told that basically you want to say like that basically that this person basically still exists. Then one person told that basically John Wilkes Booth basically still exists. The person who basically killed the Abraham Lincoln, president basically, old president basically. Then he told that basically very that is basically USA basically. USA political writer might be knowing this all this. How basically we can know? Then basically he told that basically you are people are not there. Indian people don't stay basically. There are basically more than 20 crore Indian people are staying there. Then you should know that basically that this person basically exists or not exists. That is John Wilkes Booth basically. That John Wilkes Booth basically who killed the Abraham Lincoln. He exists or not exists. That basically you should might be knowing that because you are 20 crore people are not staying there. Then he told that basically yes, yeah, you are correct, yeah. You are 100% correct basically. John Wilkes Booth basically he basically like this basically story has basically comes in front of the world basically that John Wilkes Booth basically killed Abraham Lincoln. He basically was the killer basically who killed basically the American president John Wilkes Booth. Then basically you should know right because you are basically the Indian political writer. According to that, the entire India basically runs each and every system basically because you are the main basically person. Political writer basically people are the main person who basically handles the Bollywood also basically. Then please you know this the thing basically just now I told that the Sholay movie basically human souls basically has created and his 1 lakh human souls is basically created and that 1 lakh souls basically has been dumped to many body basically and like this basically 30 crore population are there of the Bollywood group basically that you basically might be knowing that basically yeah basically that I know basically that political writer literally told them that I know basically then one of the Bollywood person basically is told that basically where he is staying basically I want his address basically like this basically Bollywood one of the person also basically asked where actually he is staying basically I want his address basically. Then basically he told that John Wilkes Booth basically he killed the Abraham Lincoln basically. Then basically you might be knowing 100% right. Then that basically incidents I know basically that everybody knows like. But then basically he told that John Wilkes Booth still exists basically. He literally told that basically still exists basically. Then he told that basically USA political people might be knowing that. That is USA basically people might be knowing that. Na? USA group basically might be knowing that. That basically what actually he has played the role of John Wilkes Booth basically. So in which city basically he's staying. That basically the American people basically the American political writer might be knowing because he is writing each and everything of the political writer of the America basically. American president basically. Sorry, I'm not American president. American country basically. America country is basically running America country is basically running. Running means his actually entire and economic is running. They are producing lots of softwares, lots of 20 crore Indian population are there. You don't know basically. Then he told them that is basically not our head basically. That is basically America people basically. But you are the political writer, right? Your people basically goes to there basically. Your people means the each and every political people basically who are sitting in the parliament house. That is your people. Their people basically the your people are basically going in the USA also, and you are basically giving the business also basically to the USA. That means you should know basically that when this person exists or not. Then he told that basically how basically that is USA basically. Na? That is basically the USA human souls basically you can say. Then he told that basically, but currently basically which human souls he is basically using, that you might be knowing. No, basically that how basically I can know basically. How I can basically know that which human souls basically is what he is using now. Then basically the political writer basically actually thought little bit time and basically thought that that's basically that will create some international problem basic issue basically if we will interfere in each and every country's issues. But then he told that basically in America is telling that we are friend of American. India is our friend basically. And they basically started celebrating Diwali also basically. They have given they are announced the Diwali festival also basically. That means they have told that basically they are friend of America. Sorry, Indian basically. So you can ask basically them that John Wilkes Booth basically still exists or not basically. John Wilkes Booth basically still exists or not basically. You can ask them basically. So this was basically the political discussion basically. So he told that basically first we need to know the old political blood cells basically, old political group basically. Then only we can basically check the currently basically political situation basically. Currently political situation basically. What actually the current political situation is basically. What is the current political situation, because the World Bank basically was checking basically each and every task basically. There are 3 lakh tasks basically which is uh, defined by the world creator basically. They have created the world, so they are basically telling that we have created that 3 lakh tasks basically. In 3 lakh tasks, this is one of the tasks is political tasks. Bollywood task basically we have already discussed what actually Bollywood task is and up to what level Bollywood is. Current phase of the each and every currently young basically face, they might be possible that they are very old people basically, but their face basically are new, fresh, look and feel is very fresh, their body structure are fresh, their blood cells basically are fresh, but they are very old basically, but nobody can track this basically. Like this same way basically it's a political basically. Now the political thing is going. So political thing basically we have reached up to John Wilkes Booth basically. We reached up to John Wilkes Booth basically. He told that basically John Wilkes Booth still exists basically. That World Bank basically asked that political writer because he got set of resources to whom basically he can communicate. To whom basically he can communicate. In communication basically he communicated with that political person basically who basically knows each and everything about the political things basically which is happening in the Parliament House, which is basically in India basically. So he basically connected to 20 crore people basically. They basically asked, "Do you know John Wilkes Booth?" Basically, they told that, "Yeah, yeah, we know." Basically, he basically killed Abraham Lincoln. Basically, he shoot Abraham Lincoln. He's very well known, dangerous person. Basically, in America, basically. Currently, basically, people says that he died, but he told that basically, "Are you sure?" Basically, that he told. He's very, it's very old, 200-year old basically. Task you are discussing now basically. His age might be 200, 250 basically. How basically he can still exist basically? Then he told her basically, yeah, you are correct basically. Then basically the in here basically in Bollywood basically the people basically old people have got the new faces that basically you all basically Indian people know that. That no basically how basically we can know that because that is a Bollywood basically. We are basically from different sector basically. How basically we would be knowing that? Then basically you are not watching movies of Bollywood people basically. And then basically he told her, yes, yeah, you're watching. Then you should not know basically. Then he told that, yeah, basically. But we don't know basically. We don't know basically. We know, but who is basically John Wilkes Booth basically. He basically killed the Abraham Lincoln. He was the person basically who killed the Abraham Lincoln. So like this, the political things basically, the World Bank person basically who was allocated by the World Bank group basically, and he basically was good in mathematics, he was good in statistics, and he is basically good in banking management. He basically was connected to the political person, and he basically asked that political Indian political person that because he is Indian, so basically he should connect. He can connect to Indian people, and he can basically connect to USA people also. And you can ask them basically who is John Volkes. Then basically he told that basically let me connect basically. Let me think basically to the let me connect with the USA people also basically. Then I will let you know basically. Then like this basically the discussion stopped. So next video is basically we are going to discuss that what basically that political writer has done the discussion with the USA political writer.